Hello.
Hi. All right, hold on. I gotta change the title.
Dude, what's the backstory behind all the emotes, dude? In your name.
Oh, okay. So what had happened was, so we were doing 5v5s. So like iron, unranked 5v5s, bronze 5v5s, whatever. So today we did silver and gold. Okay, and I thought it would be a good idea. We take 10 random silver players, we match them against each other. I give them a random role, so I just say top, mid, jungle, bot, whatever, you're playing this role, right? And then I let them pick their comp, and then after they pick their comp, I bet, and everybody bets. So all these people with emotes, as you can see, there's a bunch of people with emotes in their names. It's because they bet wrong, not right.
Okay, so you get a cucumber if you're wrong?
Well, I was wrong 3 times, so I have a poop, and I have a teapot, and I have a cucumber to represent that I was wrong 3 times.
It's the mark of shame.
It really is.
The letter A or whatever that is, that movie, that Amber, the Amber A or whatever, Crimson A.
Yeah, it was very, very depressing because, I was pretty confident in my selections based on comps, but I cannot guarantee wins and losses. I can only suggest that they might occur, So I blame you, I blame chat. And welcome everybody, because today we got Rav here, and I was excited to have you do this, and thanks for doing this, and thanks for being helpful and being so friendly with promoting my coaching and everything, and welcome.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you for my LP.
No problem, man. If you want, you can actually you can pick people at random to ask questions. This is a different time, guys. So we have Rav in here. I put we could talk to anything. We can talk to you anything about YouTube, about streaming, about League, like whatever it is you want. I would recommend you structure the questions towards Rav. But if you want to ask me something, I mean, I'm here too. It's no problem. I'm not gonna kick you or anything. But yeah, you can go ahead and fire it away if you want.
If you have a coaching question, do not direct it at me.
Oh, I told them they could if they want.
Okay, all right. I'll give you my input. I'll give you my input. If you're paying for this, though, I feel bad. NEACE, you can drag people in. If you rely on me to know how to use Discord, then half the hour will be me figuring out how to do stuff. So
okay, no problem.
You can pick the person.
No problem.
Hello?
Yeah,
hey,
what's up, man?
This man's undefeated.
I am. This boot camp is pretty nice.
Awesome.
I'm a silver ADC Aphelios main, and I was on vacation all week, and yesterday I just got back, and I was playing some games, and like second to last game, I got a support. I know that we have to mute everybody and everything, but I like to keep my support unmuted in champ select so that I kind of know what they're doing and stuff. And I hovered Aphelios, and the support was just then started flaming me for hovering Aphelios, saying the champion was weak and everything. They were hovering Soraka, so I just dodged because I didn't want to play with them, but there's a big dodge penalty now, so I didn't know what to do now that that penalty is here. So should I usually just dodge those games? Or is there something else that I should do?
Oh, you should 100% dodge those games. You should 100% dodge those games, and then you should go and take a break, go and practice some yoga for a bit, and then once you play another game, you can dodge another one, because I'm going to say this again. I've been saying this throughout the boot camp. The LP doesn't mean anything. Woo! Doesn't mean anything. No one cares. Imaginary number. The only thing that matters is MMR. Got it?
Got it.
Thank you so much.
The wait timers though.
Oh no, that you just deal with, because it's not worth losing a game because you want to waste time with the troll. Just go watch a VOD or something, and you can get better at the game in other ways. You understand?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right,
I concur. Even though I don't dodge myself, and that's why I lose LP.
It's a bit of a time sink, but yeah, it really does not matter.
Hello.
Hi, what's up, bro?
Ooga
What's
booga.
good? Yes.
Hey.
Hello. So my question is for you, Rav. Like, how do you deal with like 10 and 0 bruisers in the top lane? Like just coming down and just one-shotting you.
As an ADC,
Yeah.
I typically die to them and then make a video talking about how broken they are. That's my approach typically.
So you don't try to get better at the game by better spacing?
Yeah, typically, like, I mean, if they're 10 and 0 and 4 levels ahead of you, it's typically a fight that I don't even try to take. Like, if they're in the room, I don't want to be in the room at that point. I'm sure NEACE might have real opinion on that, but
I mean, that's actually a pretty good answer. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't try to test my luck. If I'm truly trying to win the game and not just meme for content, if I see my top or any solo laner is getting destroyed and they're way ahead of us in terms of level, I don't even try my luck. Even if I myself am doing well, I don't think you're gonna, unless you're like Gosu himself, you're not gonna out 1v1 a 10 and 0 bruiser who has 4 levels on you. I don't think it's gonna happen.
No, I think that was,
send me a video of it.
Yeah, I think that was well said. I don't really see a world. The game is just not like, I talk about ADC being the lowest agency role for a reason. It's not like I'm memeing. Like I truly believe it. Like, and you know, I'm really passionate about people that watch my content, feeling like when they watch my content, they can go into their game and they can understand the game better and they can know how to invest their time. If you want to play ADC and you want to say, I love ADC, I love right clicking, great. Understand, I'm giving you the perspective of the role. If a bruiser's giant, you just stay away from him and wait until he throws. Maybe you can snag the shutdown, the last hit, save your ult for him, whatever it is you got to do. But if you can precisely like acquire that gold, then you can go and leverage it later. And also, not only do you get gold, do you get XP.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. I was asking this for a friend because he keeps on getting killed by 10 and 0 bruisers, and he was trying to fight him all the time. So.
Good luck to your friend on that one.
Yeah, and I think it's a hard lesson to learn, and like I have trouble learning it too, because it's hard to feel like if you're like 5 and 0 on an ADC, you feel really good until you realize like the rest of the world is out there outside of bot lane. And I can't tell you how many times there's like a 2 and 7 Darius who will freaking destroy me when I'm 5 and 0. Yeah, and you know, it's you got to know your limitations, I guess.
It's just what it is. Hey, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? Basically, I've been stuck in platinum since season 7, and I've just picked up Kayle.
Okay.
I'm having trouble with late game, surprisingly. And I was a Teemo main. I actually hit Teemo with Diamond with Teemo, but I'm good at Teemo, but I'm not good at League, is what I've kind of come to the conclusion with.
Okay, that's a fair conclusion sometimes.
And the positioning is really weird to me, and early game I'm getting better at. I'm used to just going like Ignite Teemo and just dumping on people level 1 through 3, and now with Kayle I have to wait till 6 to even auto attack. It's weird. I don't know.
Do you have a question?
Kayle late game. How do I carry?
Oh, okay. I was like,
that's really yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Are we going anywhere with this? No.
Yeah, my bad.
You're good. So what I would tell you is that generally speaking, what most Kayle players really struggle with is I talk about shifting gears a lot. So if you want to play Kayle, great. I mean, she's not bad. There's people that do play her in really, really high elo, even though I can't fucking stand her. I can't stand no prio champs. I can't stand playing with them. I would tell you, you need to get basically used to, once you start getting your items, loosen up and actively side lane. Be proactive and don't be afraid to challenge people in the side lane and start seeing like when you can win duels. First step, get through lane. Next step, get through lane with good farm. Next step, we side lane with farm and we start trying to duel people with Kayle. Got it? Be aggressive with it though. Don't be passive. Don't be afraid to challenge.
It's been going kind of rough, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Good luck on your climb, bro.
Sweet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, in my gold advice, giving backseating a player higher rank than me is, if your goal is to climb, if you OPGG yourself and you have a champion like Kayle who you have like a 30% win rate on, then don't play that champion anymore. But if you have a poster of Kayle in your room and you're infatuated with it and you want to rub Kayle all over yourself, then go watch Kayle videos. I don't know. But if you're trying to climb, look at, like, sometimes your playstyle doesn't align with a certain type of champ.
You mean just like personality?
Yeah. Yeah, like I can't play melee champs, for example. Like I'm too passive, you know?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. What up, Ash?
Hi, I am a top Irelia main in gold 4, just reached gold. I also play Poppy, but I really have an issue sometimes with just having to deal with fed players as soon as I get out of top lane. And half the time I can't get fed because my jungler just ignores the top lane
No, because you
entirely.
suck. No,
I
no,
do
no, no, no,
suck.
no, no,
I
no,
do
no,
suck.
no,
I'll tell you
no.
that much.
I don't like this line. I don't like this leaded question where it's just like, it's like,
I was
I
gonna
don't get
say,
fed.
how do I get better without my jungler?
Okay, yeah,
Hey,
that sounds a lot
I'm in
better.
jungle diff camp, man. I don't
Because-
know. I'm with Ash. I haven't seen any of his games, but they're probably jungle diff.
It's hard for me to even keep my laner like away from their tower because they normally just flash and ghost away.
So the key with this is Irelia, the ones that are the scariest to me, and Irelia is really strong right now. So if you're struggling with Irelia, then I mean, I hate to be that guy, but if you're not able to basically put it in the basket at this point, it becomes a mechanics problem. But what I will tell you is the way that I do it is, well, that I don't do it, but the way that I've lost to Kayle's would be Kayle allows you to push into her. She freezes just outside of tower. And then as soon as the wave breaks, she all-ins. And that's it. And then she gets fed, and that's it. There's really no other way around it. Like, she has to stack up. So the only way that she's going to stack up is with the wave on her side. Sure, you could be fancy and like push into somebody. But really, think about what Irelia does and what's valuable. So Irelia has a lot of gap closes and a stun from range. So if we're struggling to kill people in top lane with Irelia, then yeah, it's either a mechanical problem with Irelia or a wave management problem with Irelia. Either way, like, we don't have an excuse to not be getting fed on Irelia. And yeah, I guess we could throw up our hands and say jungle diff, but I don't think that's going to be the way. I don't think that's going to be the way to get the result that you want. You understand?
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Listen very closely to what I said. You need to freeze and then all in them in a long lane. If you don't like focus up on that and keep your eye on the ball there, then it's gonna really backfire and you're not gonna get much value out of her.
Okay. Next
Thank
thing
you.
is to learn how to freeze then.
Yeah, that's exactly. Good luck. I thought some people would ask about YouTube stuff, but
I mean, it's a boot camp for climbing. Not...
yeah, maybe they want to learn about some YouTube. Maybe they want the boot camp tips. I don't fucking know. What's up?
Yeah, sorry, Rav. If you want, please feel free to chime in on this one as well. But just before I ask my question, I just wanted to mention that last boot camp, I didn't really have a job that I was really too fond of. I actually quite hated it, and I was just waiting for my promotion. And now that I got it, I love my job, and not taking that negative energy into playing it like does wonders. So I just wanted to reiterate what you've been saying like the last like 3-4 days now, NEACE.
Thanks.
Yeah, and yeah, I was just curious about just some general Shyvana jungle tips. Typically, what I do is I just get my 6, farm till I have ult, and then I just look for opportunities like counter jungle, take objectives, and every time I ult up, that's kind of when I want to start looking for fights, not forcing them, but just looking for opportunities. And I think she does pretty good in this meta. But I was just wondering if there's maybe anything else that I can look to maybe do to increase my chance of winning with her as well.
Well, basically what Shyvana becomes is, I'm not a huge fan of her, but like the AP variant of Shyvana is very, very good.
Yeah.
What I would be looking at doing is the biggest mistake that I see. What elo are you?
Gold 1 right now.
So the biggest mistake that I see Shyvana players making is they're not aggressive and clean enough with their pokes. So like when you get 6, literally as soon as you spike 6, first thing you should do is go, where can I just dump this ult?
Right.
And I know this sounds like a really dumb advice, but it's not. So like literally get your ult and go, all right, who's the closest? Who's the person that if I just jumped in their lane and started bombing them with Rs or with ease, I guess, with empowered ease. If I start bombing them with ease right now, who's the person that's going to be the most affected by this play?
Right. Okay.
So if I'm playing Shyvana and I finish and I hit 6 and I've got a champion with a ton of sustain and a champion that's squishy and doesn't have any sustain, I'm going right to the squishy lane and I'm just going to bomb them with ease. I don't even give a shit if I kill them.
Okay. Okay.
And then
That's
what
fair.
you're gonna do is you're gonna unlock either a dive, a kill, or just push them out. And then you back and you do it again and again and again. The Shyvana players are often too passive, and they think that their champion only needs to show up when there's a kill, but that's actually a misnomer. Poke champs value come when you actually just kick people off of objectives.
Yeah, I find she sieges turrets really well. Like you can just ult. You don't even have to hit anyone with the ult, and then you just throw E's, and even if you hit someone, then you can take the turret for free. And I also found too, if the enemies clump up in like a late game team fight, if you hit a good E, you literally can just run and start pushing a lane. Because if your team can't win the fight after that, like it's doomed.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like,
So I would
she's a
say.
monster.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely most Shyvana players that I see are just weak at being aggressive with that. So just immediately think, I'm just going to kick someone out of lane and then go from there. And I think you'll have a better result.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I had a bad win rate on her, but so far in boot camp, I think I'm like 6-1 or 6-2 with her. So it's been going well. But yeah, I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good luck on your climb, man.
Thanks, appreciate it.
I agree. If Shiv comes down and you're a bot laner, even if like you don't get killed, it can be even worse like mentally. If you get poked down to like nothing and then you're sitting under tower trying to farm, and if you're in gold, you probably can't farm under tower like me. So like you're sitting there getting increasingly frustrated, and you're probably pinging your jungle to come down. So I agree with him. Like, come down and poke bot. If you get nothing out of it, like you probably have triggered the enemy bot laner if you've poked them.
Yeah, it's really tough to recover from a scenario like that where it's like you don't have any way to get any HP back. That's why I say it's like whichever lane would just be the most affected by the poke, that's where I would take it, because it's like I guess it's fair too, because it's like bot laners are going to be under leveled as well. So if you hit them with a couple, it's like, well, that's lane over, even if you didn't get any gold yourself. So that's not bad. Are you doing a face reveal today? Was that like a thing?
No. That was a marketing ploy.
Oh, okay. Because like I have people saying face reveal randomly in my chat or whatever. What's up, Phalaris? How you doing, brother?
Bro, I got a YouTube question if I can abuse my coaching powers and skip the line.
Oh,
I heard you
yeah.
talking about, nobody's asking YouTube questions.
Okay.
Yeah, what did you do to grow your channel? Like, do you have any tips for growing your channel outside of just like, posting stuff that people are interested in? Is there anything else that you really focused on?
I think obviously the obvious statement is quality is king when you're trying to grow. Like, you don't want to miss. You want every video to be good. And like you'll watch a ton of like how to grow your YouTube channels, and like the number one thing they'll say is to be consistent, like upload every Monday, or like let your audience know when you're going to be uploading. And I think that's a load of shit, to be honest. I think the real consistency that you want to strive for is in quality. So rather than like struggling to keep an upload schedule at the beginning, all you want to do is make sure that every time you upload, it's very good. So like your view duration, people are watching a good portion of the video, they're not clicking off. That should be your focus in terms of making the content. And then in terms of like getting your name out there, a ton of people will like ask me for shout outs and everything. And like if I give a shout out and your quality and your content isn't good, you're gonna get like one spike in views on one video, and then people are gonna never come back. So like you need to be able to capitalize on shout outs and getting lucky by making good quality first. But then in terms of like a move that you can make yourself to get your name out there, because as a small channel, like the odds of you appearing on a homepage are like next to none.
Yeah, it's like nothing.
So I ran a technique called the sequel technique when I was very small. And what I did was I would pick a video in like the league niche that was doing really well. And my goal would be to try to rank on the recommended videos on the side when people were watching that video. So I would make like a quote unquote sequel to that video. For example, Pro Guides made a Korean Ezreal build like a long time ago, and I noticed that video was getting a lot of traction by them. So I made a Korean Ezreal video, but I did the metadata on YouTube, so the title and the thumbnail, in a way where if people were watching that Pro Guides video, the title and thumbnail of my video would spark curiosity on like if that build would actually work. And then my video ended up ranking high for the recommended videos of that video. And I ended up getting a lot of traction that way. Like a lot of eyeballs, a lot of free like impressions on YouTube. Because I would never get on the homepage, but if I could rank high enough on a recommended for a video that was getting a lot of views, it's like a shortcut to your way of getting free eyeballs. So you're kind of piggybacking off of a bigger YouTuber. And like, I'm not gonna say that'll work every time. I probably tried it 10 different times with 10 different videos before anyone got any traction, but all my videos were getting like 100 views before that, and then that video, which got in the algorithm, got about 10,000 views, and then that immediately moved the bar up, so then all my videos were getting like 5,000 views now, and then that worked like 2 or 3 times to the point where, you know, now I don't need to sequel to get my name out there. So yeah, that's probably the most in-depth tip I can give any new creator in terms of how to get the eyeballs, because I know a lot of people are frustrated. They make good content and everything, and the way the YouTube algorithm is, you know, it's very hard to get your video promoted. So try to find like little niches like recommended tab to do that.
Gotcha. When you say metadata, like was there some program or app you used to get that, or?
Nope. Like tags are becoming very irrelevant on YouTube. I know you can add tags to videos. It's like there's a lot of evidence out there that tags do nothing for videos. A lot of my videos I don't even tag now to test, and they perform the same as other videos that I do tag. So I mean, I'm still playing with that. I'm always looking at the data on that. But like if even like Mr. Beast, if you know who that is, like he doesn't tag his videos. So like there's a lot of evidence that tagging does nothing anymore, because you're better off letting YouTube, the system, tag your videos for you. But then the other metadata
I'm gonna make a mental note of that one. I didn't know that.
Title and thumbnail are the main metadata. So, you know, I try to see a big keyword that a big video used in their title, and I'll use the same thing.
Carry that across. Yeah.
Yep. And I'm not saying like copy things, like don't make 15 mathematical builds with Ross Boomstock's face in the thumbnail. Like don't be scummy about it. But make a sequel to it. Like your video has to add value to their video, so that if a lot of people end up watching your video, they're gonna, you know, it'll indirectly help them too, you know.
All right, perfect. That was a really good answer. Thank you.
Thanks, Phil. Now get out of here, dude. Just don't abuse your powers.
All right, good luck to the rest of you plebs who have to wait in line.
What a troll, dude. What a troll. I'm trying to pick people that I haven't picked before. Okay. Hopefully I haven't picked him before.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, folks? What's going on? NEACE, I just want to say real quick, I'm a huge fan. I've been watching you ever since you were still in like tens of thousands of subscribers, and I always thought, you know, what you had to offer was, you know, really good and educational and stuff. But
thanks, man.
Thanks. You said RAV, right?
You too. Be cool.
Okay, thanks.
But I do want to ask a question regarding RAV's content, because you'll notice, of course, being the person that makes the videos, you use that electronic voice, Microsoft voice guy, and he narrates what's taking place in the videos and says your lines basically. But I just wanted to ask, how do you feel as though that aspect of your videos adds on to the humorous aspect of your content?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. I think initially using TTS, the text to speech, where, you know, I type and then it reads in a robot voice, wasn't a strategy in terms of bringing humor. It was like, to be totally frank, there was a twofold reason why I started with that. One, I wasn't fond of like putting myself out on the internet. I like, you know, separating my own identity from the alias of RAV. And two, like a lot of people, because I get a ton of DMs, I was very insecure about my own voice. So I started with TTS thinking I really want to be a YouTuber, but the generic way was not an avenue that I was interested in doing. So like the first probably like 2 videos I tried to make without TTS, like every time I recorded that commentary with my main voice, it would take me like 10 tries to record it, because like a lot of people get cringed out when they use their own voice, and it got to the point where I was like, it's taking too long and I'm not happy with it, so I ended up going that route. And then what I did is like I was feverish about watching the comments on all of my early videos. as well as watching like view duration graphs on YouTube. They provide all of that for you. So I could tell when people were clicking off of videos or what parts of the videos they liked. And they ended up liking the flaming, the very sarcastic jokes that I would say with that TTS. So I started doing more of that and less of, you know, plain commentary that I would do with my normal voice. And that's kind of like how the style of utilizing like deadpan, no breaks jokes evolved to the point where now I would argue that like the script that I write for every video is highly dependent on how it sounds when it comes out of TTS. And I do end up rewriting a lot of jokes to make them purely sound better coming out of the robot. So yeah, it's a big part of my strategy now.
I see. It was something that you wanted to use at first as an alternative, but now it's a big part of what you make now. Wow, it's actually pretty nice. It's pretty nice. It is. I don't know how, but I do feel as though the voice just kind of works, and it really just adds like a nice touch that you can't really find anywhere else. So that's kind of what separates you from a lot of other people, which nowadays regarding YouTube and content, that's really what you need in order to grow and stand out, so to speak. But yo, thanks for that, man. Thanks for folks for bringing me up and answering me. All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you for the question. Yeah, TTS is a tough niche. A lot of people initially were, you know, they hear TTS and 10 seconds in, you get a comment that's like, clicking off, this is my ears are bleeding type of stuff. But I mean, you got to ignore the haters and try to focus on the things that you can improve on, and then, you know, adapt based off of what people like.
I find it interesting that you're so open about the voice thing, because like I have always wondered, like, well, I basically had to go through that as well, where it was like, man, I wish I sounded better.
I think everyone hates the sound of their own voice. I don't know like what kind of narcissist like gets off to the sound of their own voice. If anyone in here like loves it and like plays recordings of themselves talking to audiences, like let me know. I need to like pick your brain. Like what kind of confidence juice are you drinking every morning?
Yeah, those guys do cold showers.
Yeah.
Disc repair, you're up. Hurry up. You better find that button before I kick you out. There you go.
I also had to find my microphone, sorry.
You're good, brother. What's up?
Okay. So I have a question from somebody else and myself. One, I want to ask, what do you think makes more funny YouTube content itself? Or do you think it's like a group of things?
So like I do a lot of research behind the scenes of like different comedy styles. As little details as the letter K actually provokes a bigger comedic response in people. So if you use words that have the K sound in it, it typically like pulls better, I guess. So
what?
details.
You researched this?
I researched the hell out of everything I write,
my God.
all the way to that detail of like try to incorporate a lot of K's or K sounds, like little stuff like that, all the way to big picture things like relatability. So obviously people will typically respond to a joke if they have some level of familiarity with it, and being hard stuck in League is like a shoe-in for that, because so many people, regardless of their rank, are hard stuck, right? So I really like double down on that, because that level of relatability makes things funny. And then I occasionally will make like a very niche joke that I know will only land with like 5% of my audience. Like I'll drop a name that I know, unless you've watched like a very particular show, you will have no idea what I'm talking about, knowing that it'll go over 95% of my audience's head. But I know that the 5% that have watched that show, it'll resonate so much with them that it's almost like an immediate conversion of a sub. So like I throw those oddballs out there here and there to make sure that like I gain new audiences, and then I keep like the rest of my script moving so quick that even though 95% of the people won't understand that joke, the next one comes so quick that I don't lose them yet, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. Okay,
so, but yeah, relatability is probably the number one thing if you're going for like trying to do funny scripts. You know, talk about something that a wide number of people experience.
Another thing I just thought, do you have any resources to help getting into writing scripts, or is it just kind of something you got to figure out as you go?
It's every video is, you know, I have 50 tabs on Chrome open by the end of it, or Opera. Sorry, plug. It's just every video is a new thing. It's a new research project. So go to Google. I always utilize synonyms.com, rhymezone.com, and Urban Dictionary. Those are the three that are always up. But aside from that, always looking up like pop culture references. Like my Google search history is so sus. Like there are things that are like famous man that got canceled for touching girls, like weird things, because I need that level of pop culture to be able to make the joke, and I myself am not a very cultured person. So it's it's purely a research thing when I'm writing.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. It goes deep.
Thank you so much, Disc. I appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Hi, so I have a question regarding mid lane. So
Okay.
when you're fighting against a champ with better wave clear and better push, I know one of the videos it says that you want to get prio as much as can and roam as much as possible. But when you're fighting against a champ that has better wave clear than you, what should you do?
Can I ask where you're from?
Rhode Island.
You have a good New England accent. So you're basically asking. So you're asking if you're dealing with a champion that has better wave clear, better shove. So just what champion are you playing where you have this problem, where you encounter this problem?
I would play Jayce.
Okay, so your first problem is Jayce mid is kind of crappy because of that. All you can really do in that situation is the skill check becomes, can you hit your farm and follow that roam fast enough?
Okay.
That's the skill check, because realistically with Jayce, there's not much you can do because Jayce isn't really the best mid laner right now. If you were to play Jayce, I would, if you like Jayce, play him top, bro. Like, you get way more value out of his kit because you're trying to play Jayce into stuff that Jayce doesn't really enjoy. Like, if you're playing against bruisers top with Jayce, you can leverage like brush control, you can leverage wave management, you can also leverage your scaling, because Jayce is not as early game as he used to be, and his scaling isn't like what you wind up doing with Jayce in order to get value. It has nothing to do with what you would like expect Jayce to be doing with the scaling. It's like you become this weird like split pusher that's like utility and disengage. And so I just don't think he works that well in mid. So the long story short here is like, you're probably missing a lot of farm, and you're probably rotating too late, and you're probably getting too poked down. If you can clean those things up, like that triangle, then it gets a lot better, or just move him to top. Is that a good answer for you?
Yes, that's a perfect answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. What up?
Hello, guys. Can you hear me?
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
So my question is for both of you. Okay. When you started making YouTube, did you have any anxiety or such strange feelings?
Yeah, you go ahead first.
So for me, I don't know. I've always been a pretty confident person, really. Like, I know the voice thing, like that, but like, if you think about my content, I'm actually kind of running polar opposite to Rav. I put my face on everything. I put my voice on everything. So like, I've never really been a person that struggled with confidence, in the sense I don't mind speaking to people. I'm introverted though, and I don't think a lot of people understand that about me, is that I'm very introverted. If you compare me to other content creators and other streamers, like it really does, like, these types of events really do take a lot out of me, and it's cool. I'm happy to do it, obviously, but what I'm saying is that like, my anxiety comes more in the form of not feeling like I'm giving you guys enough entertainment. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not, even though I'm a learned extrovert, a lot of what I do is, I don't want to say it's an act, because I don't consider myself fake, but I really do like to do stuff like the commentaries, to do stuff like interacting with groups of people, crowds of people. And I'm not saying this to make anybody feel guilty about doing a Q&A. I'm just a very transparent person. It does sap a lot of my energy, and that's why I do need things like my breaks in between and stuff like that. Because if I go, it's not natural to me. Like, I need my space. If I had any anxiety or weird vibes, it would be realizing that, like, I'm a little weird. Like, I will sit and play a game for hours and hours and not come out of my room, and like, I have to be forced to do things. Like my wife has to practically beg me to go out and meet people. And there's no problem with me going out and meeting people. Like I conduct myself well, but it is a bit of a like, I have to work myself up to it. That's about it for me.
Yep, I have to agree. I have to agree with NEACE. I'm the same way in terms of, and I think everyone is, like everyone has an on and an off switch to a point when they need to interact with people or be entertaining. I don't think it's being fake, but I think it's, you know, putting additional effort into certain like small aspects of who you are. But like NEACE, like I'm the same way. Like I'm probably the most comfortable, you know, mic off, recording off, playing a game quietly by myself. But that said, in terms of like anxiety over YouTube, I would argue that I have more anxiety now in terms of my videos than I did when I was first starting off. Because like at the very beginning, your view counts are so low, like it really doesn't matter as much like what you screw up, because every mistake you get to learn from when you're small. You get to throw, like, you have a blank canvas and you get to throw so many different things at it and try so many new theories that, you know, it doesn't matter if a video flops or if people hate this. Like, you get to use that penalty free to improve in the future. Whereas like now I know like NEACE and I have different mechanisms of, you know, monetizing our content. He does coaching and I get a lot of my revenue from sponsors. Now, I would say a lot of my anxiety is tied to view counts because I know I have potential sponsors out there looking at my consistent view counts per video. So I have to be a lot more careful not to pick a topic or do something that I know has a higher likelihood of flopping. Because if a sponsor is looking at my channel and they see an occasional video that might get, you know, 30,000 views instead of 100,000 views, you know, they're less likely to pick me up because they don't want me to put a sponsor on a flopping video. So I would argue that I take advantage of being small and not having that pressure. I know it's like a first world problem, but it's like a very real anxiety to have in terms of, you know, once you hit a certain level, every video has to perform. So, you know, take advantage of being small and trying new things and not having a lot of like repercussions to failing early.
Yeah, that's like, honestly, dude, that's, I didn't even really view it that way, but it is so true. Like, just think about when I switched to Fortnite and I put out a video and I'm like, hey guys, I'm really excited about Fortnite. And I was legitimately excited about it. Like, and I was like, oh, this game's awesome. Like, I want to share this with my audience. And then my audience is like, where the fuck is League? What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Like, there are so many times that I would play another game, but it's not worth it, you know?
Yeah, it's like, you better get League up here. I swear to God, I'm gonna do something. And you're like, oh my God. All right, my bad, guys, right? But
thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah,
I'm sorry if you guys hear vacuuming right above me.
No, I don't hear it.
Up or anything.
No, I don't think it. I don't think we do.
My fake wife that no one believes is real is vacuuming upstairs. So, and it sounds like an earthquake. So
yeah, how's it going?
Fine, thank you. So I heard a bit before someone was asking about Shyvana jungle.
You sound like text to speech. Can we talk about that? No, I'm just kidding.
You do, man. Sorry. Can I outsource to you?
read Rav's scripts for him so he can bump his views up and you can lower that anxiety. You know, go ahead, brother.
Real. Yeah, I was playing Yone mid before, and there was this Shyvana jungle in the other team. She got quite fed because my jungle just kept running in her jungle trying to invade. And what she did, she just went bot and kept harassing them over and over again. So what can I do as a mid laner to stop that?
So it depends on well, whenever I start blaming the jungle in general, like I shouldn't even frame it that way, because like when you get mad that your jungler's doing something, you need to understand the role. Do you jungle at all?
I do a little bit of jungling on the side with Rek'Sai.
So what elo are you?
I'm high silver.
So probably badly, right? Probably bad jungling. And what you need to start doing is you need to start thinking about, how can I ward better to enable this guy better, right? How can I ward better to enable this guy better? This is very important. I literally have a stream that comes to mind. I played a game where I was playing Fiora and I was super proud of myself because I was beating a matchup that normally was owning me. It was the Jax matchup. and I was super amped because the Jax matchup is AIDS. If you've ever played that matchup as Fiora, I probably got some Fiora people in the audience that are like, yep, that matchup is awful. Because what ends up happening is if you parry at the wrong time, you just int, basically. So there's a timing on the parry that's like really precise. But anyways, I was playing the matchup, I was doing really well, and my jungler paths up towards top, goes in towards Scuttle, and then gets jumped by a enemy jungler that's a level behind, right? And just gets pushed out. And I was so annoyed right away. I was like, oh, this guy sucks, blah, blah, blah. I was bitching on stream. And then I got off stream and I thought about it for like, it was just out working out or something. And I was like sitting there like stewing because that's how I am when I lose. I was just thinking about it and I was like, wait, I could have warded that because I had a timing that I could have warded that. And yeah, like my jungler's an idiot for not knowing that it's coming, but like that ward literally, because of where the guy's pathing and because of where I am relative to the lane state, like I lose nothing warding there and I gain everything warding there. The guy would have never gotten caught in the spot because it was one of those scenarios where, you know, top lane where that river brush is.
Yeah.
My jungler comes out of the tri brush. The enemy jungler is on my side of the lane in the river brush. And then he basically gets jumped before I can rotate is what happened. And so when I watched it back, I was like, well, yeah, my jungler's a moron and he should know that like at diamond or high diamond, he should know that someone could be there. But like if I warded it, then it wouldn't have happened and I would have won this game. So I literally tracked that whole loss back after being mad and being salty and being upset. I tracked the whole loss back to like, if you just warded that spot, you wouldn't have lost the game, like period, point blank. It's your fault. So what I would try to do is I would go through the VOD of the game that you're referencing and I would ask yourself, was there any tells? Could you have warded? Do you know where their jungler starts? If you don't know where they start, study it, figure out why they started there, and then start thinking about where I can ward and how I can assist the jungler. And then from there, as mid, you just got to get prio and try to get off lane. I mean, that's really all you can do.
Yeah, and so to help the bot lane, because she was harassing the bot lane the most, should have just warded the river with just red wards and ping them when I see her coming on the minimap.
So you can always get a pink up near the scryer orb. If you have prio, you can get a pink there. You can only go so far though. You can only ward so deep. So like, yeah, if you're allowed to get a ward on like red, like in the red brush, just so you can see the path to golems or something, that little information, sometimes that is all you need. Like if they just see that someone's down there, they're less likely to in.
Yeah, all right. Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, make sure you message him, Rav, so you can hook up your videos.
Sure.
No, man. Got that text-to-speech voice.
Yeah. I'm hiring people as we speak. No, come on, NA. You have to represent.
Oh, no.
Oh, can you hear me now? Hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're good.
Yeah, there we go. Push to talk sucks. So you just talked about it, and I guess it half answered my question. I noticed when I try to do a separate game, streaming, so like Monday, Wednesday would be League, and then DBD on Friday, for example. I go from like 9 or 10 for views, and then I'd switch to the next game, and it'd be at 1, and that'd be me watching myself. So should people who are trying to get up there, not maybe as a job, more for fun, stick to one game, or the variety thing actually work?
Oh.
I think if you're building your brand around like you have a higher shot at doing variety. But I think initially, I don't like how big is your channel?
It's big enough to be an affiliate, and then like 9 to 10 viewers for League streams, and then Friday is kind of up in the air depending on who wants to click on it.
Oh, this is streaming. I don't know a whole lot about the Twitch algorithm, to be honest with streaming.
I mean, I obviously have now built. I mean, I'm tooting my own horn a little bit here, but I've built 2 streams from scratch at this point. But in all seriousness, what I would say is, you probably are gonna have to stay the course on the fucking game.
Okay, so stick to one.
Probably. I mean, you need to think about what you are and what you represent. Rav makes a very good point when he says building around you or your content. People like me. And there's a lot of people in here that be like, oh, NEACE, love your content. But like realistically, like if I jump around from random games, my views are going to go about 80% lower, I think. People like me for either League content or more just educational or just information or that type of bend. And I think League of Legends just lends itself perfectly to that. And I have tried to make other games interesting, but many games just aren't as interesting as League. It's just what it is. The audience has to be there. The intrigue has to be there. And the excitement about these things, like you guys get amped. If I talk about some of this stuff, you guys are like, yes, I love this shit. But you can't have these in-depth conversations about Fortnite. You can't have these in-depth conversations about Call of Duty. I'd be up here doing a Call of Duty boot camp, be like, every question would be back to back to back. Someone would step up here and they'd be like, how do I shoot? Like, how do I hit the headshot? And it's like, I would be up here like, just hit it. Lower your sensitivity, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, what else are you supposed to talk about? So I think for the long story short here with this answer is just, you need to recognize that like your audience is telling you what you're good at. And maybe you're not amazing at League. I don't know, right? Maybe you're not the best League player, but your people like you when you play League. And that's just what it is. If you want to build a variety stream, you better be the funniest motherfucker alive. You better have a costume and a scheme. You better have some gimmick or thing to make people want to watch the stream more than whatever. The video game becomes tertiary at that point. And that's a very, very important distinction. I will never come up here. Like, I'll do goofy stuff sometimes, wear a taco suit or something, like every 4 months for fun. You will never catch me wearing a costume every day, brother. I'd rather die. So I made that choice long ago. Yeah, I'm never going to Dr. Disrespect. It's never going to happen. I respect the hustle. I respect the grind. But at the end of the day, you got to choose what's best for you and what your audience tends to like. And your audience will tell you what they like.
Yep. And I would triple down on that answer from NEACE, because I personally think my brand would be like in the category of audience built around a brand rather than the game. And people always say like they watch my things for the commentary, not for the game. But time and time again, like if I try anything but League, it will plummet. So while I know no one is watching my content for the League gameplay, because you could go to your church's bingo night and pick a random person out of the crowd and they could probably play Ezreal better than me. I still like, and people will recognize that and they'll verbally tell me, but the second I do a non-League video, you know, I lose at least 50% of the views. And I will tell you right now, do me a favor. On Tuesday, on my YouTube channel, I will be releasing a video that is not League. And I promise you, if you compare it to my other videos, you will see firsthand how much lower the view count is. So, as homework, go look at my channel on Tuesday, and you'll see for yourself that even someone who has built a brand around comedy and not a game will have the same dip in viewers when they don't do League.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, if that video blows up, then I will gift everyone in here a sub, because I'm that confident in the way the world works that it will flop because it is not League.
Yeah.
Fair
Does
enough.
that answer your
Thank you.
question?
Yeah, that answers it.
Thanks, man. Good luck. These are good though. These are really good. How's it going?
I have two questions. One for YouTube, one for gameplay. My first one for YouTube is, would you say it's a good idea to get into YouTube right now for aspiring college students that play League on the side or people that have free time?
No! I mean, if you have a passion for it and you're willing to work hard, then yes. If you're looking for like a quick buck where you think like you see Soul Renekton Only or Zwag posting daily videos and you think it's an easy ticket to cash, then absolutely not.
It's like, oh yeah, putting 25 hours a week will probably be easy. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, I would say
just
commit
like
to
a
putting
passion
time.
thing.
Yeah, if it's a
Hope it
passion
goes
thing, then
somewhere.
100%. Yep. 100%.
I'm already dedicating 2/3 my day to this game anyways. Might as well make something off it, kind of thing.
Okay. I was very mean, but like realistically though, this world is full of people that you know, it's becoming the new. I am not oblivious to the position that I'm in, the position that Rav's in, to have channels that are floating, right? But like at the end of the day, when it comes to YouTube stuff, when people ask me, when I got into YouTube, when I got into streaming, like it wasn't infancy, but it wasn't this saturated, right? Like I wasn't ground floor YouTube, and I wasn't ground floor Twitch, right? But it wasn't it's not where it is now, where like everybody and their mother wants to be a fucking YouTuber and a streamer.
Yeah, that's
and
my main concern is I feel like the market is just super oversaturated right now.
Let me give you this. If it's in your heart that you want to do it and you're willing to, if you're willing to sacrifice hours and social judgment and financials, I'll tell you right now, brother, I hemorrhaged for years.
Yep.
I lost money for years. No one wants to say, like, no one talks about that shit. I had jack shit for years. So, I mean, the thing that really turned it around for me, there's a lot of luck. I can't really go into much details about what prompted what, because I would be talking out of NDA basically. But realistically, I'll give you the realest advice I can give you, and I'll use a little quick poker analogy in NEACE fashion. If you were a poker player and you look around and you look at the World Series of Poker and all this guy, there's all these pros, and it's like, this pro is always around the World Series of Poker. He's been here 4 times, right? And it's like, wow, that guy's crazy. That guy is beyond crazy. That guy has played about 1,000 poker tournaments in casinos, online, everywhere that he could possibly play poker. He fucking eats, sleeps, breathes it, and he does it for years. So that guy that looks extremely lucky sitting at the World Series of Poker, he has been doing it forever. I have been in the YouTube and Twitch space making videos forever. You can look years and years and years and years and years ago. And one thing that will hold true is that I will have been there pretty much 5-6 days a week, missing Christmases and all that shit. So if you want to do it and you want to be successful at it, you better fucking love it, and you better be willing to show up every single day to work on it, because otherwise no one's gonna give a shit.
God, you don't get burned out.
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
When he says show up every day to work on it, he means work on it, not I'm gonna do this so I'm gonna consistently play League of Legends. Unless you're trying to be a pro, which I've heard NEACE say time and time again, like the chance of that is so low that like you would have to devote so much time to that, and the odds are low. But like, if you want to make it in the content world, like when he says you need to sacrifice time, you need to sacrifice time to do the stuff that isn't fun. And I'm not saying like unfun. I'm just saying there are so many nights where I would rather play 3-4 games of League than sit down and edit and write a 14-page Word document for my script. But I would never be where I am if I did that. So it isn't sacrificing time trying to justify playing the game as work. It's literally putting your head down and doing the hard thing. There's so many streamers that I've, given a shout out to in the past, or I've given advice to, where they say, I'm being so consistent. I haven't missed a stream in 4 months, but all they're doing is turning the camera on and playing the game. They're not putting work into continuously improving or giving value to the viewers. So I will say, like, the market is very saturated now, yes, but I did it. I started my channel last year, and so like it happens, but like NEACE said, you better be willing to sacrifice time to work. So like, for example, me with a full-time job, when I started the channel and I was doing 3 videos a week, I was up to 2:30 every single night editing, and then I had to wake up at 6 a.m. the next day to go to work. And then I would work a 9 to 5, and then I would come home and I would edit until 2-3 in the morning. And like, I enjoyed it, and I did have that goal of blowing up and making good money off of it. But there's a sacrifice, and you need to like recognize that the people that have made it have done comparable things to get there. And it's one of those things where like, if you're willing to do that same kind of like crazy psychotic level of work, then I mean, my hat's off to you, and good luck. But it's definitely not. If you're just going to turn on the stream and play League and call that work, then I don't think your odds are very good. So that's like the hard truth I would give.
Fair enough. My second question, going towards gameplay, for someone on the borderline of being hard suck in gold 2 to plat range, should I be getting upset at like not winning every game, if that makes sense? Like if I have a 55% win rate and I can go on win streaks, I can go on loss streaks, should I be upset at losing at that point, or should I just be like, okay, I'll just see what I did wrong and go with it?
I mean,
I'm leaning towards the latter at this point.
I mean, I can't lose without being mad, even if I know it's stupid. Like that's just how my brain is. I don't even know if that's healthy, but I think I could go down this friggin' rabbit hole with like competitive you know, whatever being hyper competitive problems causes in your real life. But like, I do know this: anybody that's super high elo, TF Blade, toxic or no? Chat, like the audience is probably like, yes, right? Tarzan, toxic or no? Yes. Dopa, toxic or no? When he was coming up, yes. A lot of these guys that made it in the scene were super assholes and super competitive. I think there is definitely, I would say that I wouldn't wish being super duper crazy competitive on somebody, because like, I do think it has a tendency to lead into like Tarzan scenarios where you start telling people that you're gonna break their head or whatever. But at the same time, I will also say that like these guys get results. I get results, even though I could be an asshole sometimes. So I think that if you're not getting mad, that's okay. But like there should be something in you that makes you want to win. Like you want, like it should be something that makes you go, what could I have done, right? Like it should eat at you a little bit. And if it is, it's not a bad thing. You just have to maintain it, right? You have to like manage it and make sure it's not something that's unhealthy. Whether I could say definitively it's required, I don't know, but it definitely seems like it might be, you know?
The main place that this is coming from is, you know, in Gold, there's a lot of people that would, oh no, my Ezreal missed his CS, I'm just gonna run it down mid lane at this point. And just watching this game as top lane, I'm just like, can I fix that? Like, should I be upset about losing this game? Like, I can watch my laning phase and be like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have warded there, there's new blah blah blah, but like, towards the mid game, should I just be like, okay, yeah, this game is over at this point? Or should I still watch it and, you know, try and see where stuff went wrong? Or is at that point, it's just not worth it?
I'm normally more focused on the first 5 minutes, but like if you are straight confused, I would rather you not watch that game and watch somebody higher elo and see how they rotate around. Got it?
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
And I think there's a difference between upset because you're competitive and being a finger pointing asshole. So the first I think is totally fine. I think that's normal and I think that's healthy. I think the second is where you're going to be not making progress.
Isn't it weird though how like a lot of the top tier players are just like mega dicks though? Isn't it just like so fascinating? I mean, there obviously are nice guys in the space, like, but there's a lot of people that are just very like aggro, where it's like, if I lose, I'm a rage.
But I mean, you also have to think how much of that is an act, because they know their brand is around that, and people enjoy that part of it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like Tyler 1 could be the lead of that, but like I've heard from so many different people that he's like the nicest human being off camera. So
yeah, he definitely dials it in outside.
Yeah.
Bob, are you good? You fixing your mic? What's up, Bob?
I'm just trying the old text to speak thing. Oh, sorry, not text to speak, push to talk. Cause it's new for me.
But if you start text to speak and you that's an interesting
you're in the
strategy.
right place, man. We'll have a full-blown conversation. I'll get Rav in here.
Say, what is it? It's /TTS, isn't it, in the chat? So we could give it a go. But no. Hey, thank you very much for both of you being here. And you know what? All the professionals that are involved, this is a really cool thing to do.